Hey, this is Alex sending you my interview answers as well as some questions I have for you guys. I will number off the question and then I will read you my answer. So with that, let's just jump right into it. So number one, I am passionate about sales and customer service. I am currently an area development manager at Coca-Cola, with my area being on the south side of Edmonton. So my job right now pretty much relates to what I'm applying for. I have over 5 years of sales experience and have dealt with multiple different types of customers. I am passionate about my own success as well as the company's, and I'm able to align my everyday actions with the company's strategic vision. And number two, one of my greatest accomplishments was in 2016 when I was a small store rep for Coca-Cola. That year I had won Best Sales Rep in all of Northern Alberta, and I did this by focusing in on my measurables and dialing into what I can impact in my trade and grow my sales. I take passion in what I do and I strive to achieve the best of my ability. With my hard work and dedication, I can earn promotions quickly and I'm looking to enter the next stage of my life. Number three, I've had a small conflict with a coworker when I was acting DSM when my boss was away for a month. It was over our monthly individual returns budget. The coworker had returned their whole month's budget in the first week, and there was a lot of pressure for us all as a team to hit our targets. So meaning when that sales rep went over their budget, that means all of us on the same team had to make adjustments to accommodate so we can all hit our targets. The conflict had started when I went to talk to the coworker about this issue. I had brought it up and they felt like I was stepping out of my boundaries as I was just another fellow coworker like themselves and was not at a DSM. Right away, I dealt with this conflict with professionalism and logic. I said sorry to the coworker that I overstepped my boundaries and agreed with them. After that, I did the next best thing possible. I went to the next DSM on a different team and let them know about the conflict and what happened. And after that, they went in and they dealt with it. That was probably the most professional way I could have done with it. Maybe I should have done it the first way instead of overstepping my boundaries. But it is something that I have learned and definitely will change the next time that situation arises. Number four, what is my greatest weakness? Well, my greatest weakness is sometimes taking on too much at one time and trying to get it done in a small period of time. To go into more detail, I've been a salary employee for years, and my success relies on different departments of the company working together. So when I upsell a customer or activate our promotion, I rely on our distribution and merchandising department to go there and deliver the product and set up the displays. When things go wrong, like late deliveries or no merch, I feel like I have to take it on myself to accomplish the task. So that means when I've worked 8 hours already selling my route, I will then go and do the other department's tasks. Some days I work long hours just to get everything done. Most people in my department, especially when you're salary, only work 8 hours a day. I put this as my weakness is because I'm my own weakness sometimes because I become too passionate about something. So if something has to get done and I feel like it needs to get done, then it's going to have to get done that day. And if I have to work long hours to get it done, that's just how it's going to have to be. Sometimes that's not the best approach to everything though too, right? Because you do get frustrated and stuff like that. So that is something that I have been working on lately is delegating and just having trust in other departments and just really controlling what I can control and doing what is within my task job. So one of my greatest strengths is leadership and team building. I've learned through experience that hard work and leading by examples are some of the best ways to connect to your coworkers. So I've integrated this process in my everyday tasks. Even from my first job at IKEA collecting carts, I've noticed this. My first boss was more of a teller, tell you what to do, and not show you what to do. She demanded more out of you. They demanded more out of you without showing you. There was a time where I figured out my own procedure on collecting the carts, and I have done it, and it was working. And after that, co-workers and even my boss started taking notice of this procedure, and sure enough, we integrated into every shift. So just something leading by example, just something like that. And then a good example of being a team builder or team building. Over the years working for Coca-Cola, I've had multiple different sales teams, different co-workers. I've been able to connect with all of them at a different level, some being through just personal, we got along, some through hard work, and some through just passion about the same thing, something that we didn't even realize we're both passionate about. I'm a very open person. I accept everybody, and I feel like I'm a team player. That if someone was to ask me to do something, then I would help them no matter what. And then I've always been the hard worker in the group. So if I've had a solution or problem, I make sure I share with my coworkers in hopes that it helps them in the future. So for number 5, how do you handle stressful situation? I handle stressful situations with logic and reason. I start by assessing the situation itself and evaluating possible outcomes. After I figured out the most desirable outcome, I put action plans together to achieve it. In all situations, I always do what's right and what I'm supposed to do. One stressful situation that I recall was when our business has changed operating systems. The problems were out of my hands and there was nothing I could do to fix them. But I was the face of the company for some of these customers, so I had to figure out the solution. Some of the problems that occurred with this operating change was late deliveries, shortages on orders, out of stocks on our warehouse, and frankly, very upset customers. So the best possible outcome that I saw for this situation was really just to connect with the customer and help them get their negative energy out. I listened to all their problems, provided them with the correct knowledge of the situation, and never just passed false hope into them. I never made promises I couldn't keep. Sometimes I had really difficult conversations with customers when I had to tell them what they didn't want to hear. I feel like my approach in this situation was beneficial to the company and to the customer. Even though I had to tell them things that they didn't want to hear, I feel like by just connecting with them and letting them know that I do care about them and their problems, that helped them feel a little bit more better about the situation. And most importantly, they didn't know what was going on. They were just ordering and things weren't happening the way that they should have been. And once I explained to them the situation and they got a better understanding of it, they were more open to what I was telling them and what was going on. So it's been actually an ongoing situation. It's always been stressful, but it's been very stressful. But I feel like using my approach and just evaluating, the outcomes and your approaches and which one is the best one, and just doing your approach to that. That's the best way to handling stressful situations, and always doing what's right. So with that, now I have answered all your guys' questions. I'm going to turn the tables and ask you guys a few questions. One of my most important questions is, what type of programs do you offer to develop your coworkers? Like secondary education, classes, or just simply team building events? Another question I have is, do we work individually or in teams? As I said, I work in team-based environment. It is kind of individually, but we are measured as a team. So just something that I want to know about you guys. Number 3, do you promote within the company or do you hire externally? So if there is ever a manager's position or something like that, Do you look at your employees first, or do you look at hiring someone from the outside? A lot of companies have different approaches, so I'm just looking at what your guys' is. My fourth question is, have you seen a high turnover rate? I don't know, just something that I would like to know about. Tells you something about the company, sorry to say. No, and my last question is, as this is a sales job, is there any local incentives? I know other sales jobs have it, so I'm just wondering if that's something you offer. So with that, I want to thank you for your time and direct you to my profile, which has my paragraph of everything that you need to know. And once again, thank you for your time. Okay, bye.